So as we get ready for the live class, I want to give you a few tips to prepare with as you come in for that session. In session 3, we're covering publishing with intention. And the goal is that our impact must be greater than our output. If you're like me, you love to create content. I love to teach. I love to speak. I have recorded on set for 12 hours straight. I think I was on set from 7 till 7. And the content ended up, we lost all the videos, but that's conversation for another session when I start to tell us on how to preserve our content. However, the reason I brought that up is to say, if all the creation process had worked the way I wanted it to work, the way my team had planned for it to work, what would have happened is that we would have an entire season of a show. But that same season of the show will be converted into blog posts. And that blog post will be used as newsletters. And those newsletters will be used to upsell services. And those services would help us to have clients who would in turn give us referrals. And those people who come in the referral will probably join the newsletters. Notice how it looks like it was just one thing and it goes on and on and on. So when you publish with intention, the plan is not just to publish. The plan is to focus on the intention. What is your intention with business? Yes, production. Yes, output. Yes, delivery. But with business, there's also the financial bottom line. What is your financial bottom line? What is your emotional bottom line? That's something we don't pay attention to. What are the kind of results you will see that would gladden your heart? I remembered when I thought I was going to be a sex therapist, so I started to practice. I'm taking courses, I'm helping trauma clients, I'm working with people who are dealing with addictions. And I did that. Liza Express is turning 10 in a couple of months. And I did that for the first 7 to 8 years of my business. I honestly thought I was going to end up go focus on sex therapy. I did know I liked sex coaching, but I didn't think at the time that it was the main thing. Now, I went down that path to say, at the time I was doing this, I was creating differently. But what made me realize that this part is not really my part, I asked myself what my emotional bottom lines were. And I realized I wanted people to come for my coaching programs and send me feedbacks like, babe, I got pregnant. I wanted people to come for my coaching programs and say things like, my sex life has been crappy for 10 years. I'm so glad I came for your masterclass. I'm so glad I was at the retreat. What would our couples retreat was? It was my emotional bottom line, the kind of testimonials I wanted, that made me realize, yes, my business needs to cover sex therapy, but it has to be someone else. I need to hire a sex therapist. I'm not going to be the primary sex therapist on this thing. Emotional bottom line helped me know that for me as a person, although I was publishing, I needed to publish with a different intention. It wasn't paying attention to, oh wait, my business creates this type of result and people reach out to us for this type of problem. We don't have someone on my team whose specialty is sex after infidelity recovery. We need to get an expert for that. You know how I realized that? Because I'm looking at the content we're publishing, and I'm looking at the problem people are coming to us for, and I'm realizing there's a gap. When you publish with intention, you publish with the goal you have set, which then begs the question, what are your goals? What are the business's goals? But what are your goals as the founder of the business? When you think about your business, what would be the perfect testimonial? If someone read your content on Facebook versus when they read it on Twitter, why would it matter to you? Why? If someone prefers, if you only publish on YouTube, why are you bothered? Why do you want to be on 7 platforms? Because if you do not establish the intention, you're going to burn out. If the reason you are on 20 social media platforms is so people can find you, then make sure you create for 20 platforms. Don't create 20 social accounts. No. If the reason you wanted 20 platforms is so that everywhere people turn, your name is ringing a bell, then do the hard work of creating to ring a bell. And how do you do that? Remember in systems of marketing, I had spoken about how you could set it up so that your marketing is automated. I will go into a bit more detail here. If you are publishing for sales, and I think you should publish for sales, if you're publishing for sales, every post that is designed for sale should call us to check out your business. There is this post, I'm going to show it to you during the live conversation. There's a post I had seen where this lady had posted on Twitter, where it was a lady or a man, I can't remember right now, but it was a plate of food with plantain. It was very beautiful. Apparently, the post went viral with thousands of views and likes. And then the person makes a post later and says, I can't believe this didn't make any sale. I looked at it, it was someone had posted on their status, and I commented, there's no CTA, there's no call to action. The person just showed us nice food and everybody must have thought, oh my God, now I want beans and I want plantain. But the person did not tell us that they were selling this particular plate of beans and plantain. How many times have you created great food content to the nutritionist during taking this course? How many times have you created great food videos, but you didn't tell us that, oh, you could give us the recipe? How many times that we could buy the recipe from you? So now we're looking at the video and we're thinking, oh, I wish I can make that. And at the time when we said, I wish I can make that, we didn't put it in the comments, so you didn't know. How many times have you told us a beautiful testimonial of what happened with your client? And after you told us the testimonial, you didn't tell us you were still taking clients for the year. So we thought your calendar was closed. And now, because you have inspired the desire to sit with an expert, guess what? We'll go and look for another expert to be. Because you've told us the testimonial that is possible, you just didn't tell us you were taking clients. You're telling us how, oh, you're a medical doctor, you're in the comments, you're making a value comment on someone else's post. Oh, I'm a medical doctor and I know this. But then when you were done saying it, you didn't, at no point did you name drop your brand. At no point did you tell us your location. At no point did you do anything. So you just gave a fantastic value post. This post has probably 100,000 views. They pinned your comments for 1 week. And people were liking it. You were getting notification that people liked it. But none of those people who liked it went to your profile. Now let us assume a few people went to your profile. When they went to your profile, what was it in your profile that would have told them to buy, to check you out, to subscribe? Some of you have bios on social media that have not a single link inside them. In fact, the only link there is bouncing. I can't count how many times I've gone on Instagram and someone has this really nice looking account and you click on the website page or the link that they put in the bio and that link takes me to a dead end. I can't count how many times. Very annoying thing. That's not publishing with intention. It's not publishing with intention. This period, because of all the things going on my team can't handle all our social media. Do you know what we did? We went on LinkedIn and said we are most active on LinkedIn for the next few months. You know what that would do? If an average person goes to Instagram, they know, oh, you have to go to LinkedIn to find them. But then there's a functional there, right there in the bio. The LinkedIn direct link is there. But then there's also the direct website and support link. If you must publish with a goal. Every post must have a goal. Every post must have a CTA. A CTA is called a call to action. That's full meaning of CTA. It's a call to action. You must call us to do something. You must either call us to look at your bio, you must call us to click a link, you must call us to buy from you, you must invite us to join your live, you must invite us to something. Because you don't know which post will go viral. Yes, you study and you check the algorithm and you do all those things. But people's posts that they don't expect have gone viral. The most unlikely posts have gone viral. So what happens if your least cared about post goes viral? What happens if it's the podcast episode you did not even really put a lot of intention into that goes viral? Now we click on your podcast. After reading the bio of the podcast, there's not a single link that takes us to the brand. Meanwhile, the podcast name and the brand name are different names. And the name of the author, the name of the speaker is not even there. So we can't Google you, or you have a popular name. So now we Google you and 12 people are showing up. Because some of us have really popular names. To publish with intention is to publish with a bottom line. If I ask you for the next 90 days, the year is ending already and we have less than 90 days to go. But for the remaining days, I don't know how many days how long your team is still working before you close your year's calendar. Between now and end of the year, what's your goal? I'll tell you what will happen on social media between now and end of the year. There are people who are going to go from 1 follower to 10,000 followers between November and December 2025. There are people who are going to go from 10,000 followers to 100,000 followers because they're going to have a viral or a series of viral moments where each post gets hundreds of thousands of views. There are people who are going to make their first 7-figure dollars in this period. Some people are going to make their first 9-figure dollars in this same period. This same period, you're already thinking, the year is over, we'll do it next year. This same period, some people are going to launch a show and build the show from episode 1 to perhaps episode 20 or 30 because they're going to publish multiple times a week. It's not whether you publish, it's whether you publish with intention. Some people are going to release their book on the 10th of December, and between 10th of December and 25th of December, that book is going to be present in at least 5 countries of the world. You know why? Because they're going to use a great distribution system. You know why? Because they had an intention. What your intention when you sat down to write your book? Did you write the book only for your community members? If yes, I understand why you're not distributing it. When you were making your YouTube video, did you make it for 1 or 2 people to watch it? If yes, I understand why you're not reposting it on social media. When you created your Facebook account, did you create it so that Cobweb can be jaded? Well, I understand now why you don't post there. You must publish with intention. And one of the best ways to do that is to repurpose your content. You can't catch up with 7-10 social media platforms, plus newsletter and the website and attending to your real-time clients if you're trying to create content every day. This video I'm making right now, my team is going to chunk it down as clips. My team is going to upload the full video somewhere. My team is going to use this video as a newsletter sequence to get in new people. This is going to be used to warm up clients. This same video you are in this masterclass for. Because otherwise, after this masterclass, what would it be used for? I'm just going to store it. Many of us have videos that we've saved from hosting events over the last 10 years that have never seen the light of day. Gigs and gigs of information sitting in our house. Those are books if we transcribe them. Those are podcasts if we upload them that can be redistributed to multiple places. Those are newsletters we could send out. Those are social media posts. This last 1 minute of this clip, if I put it into ChatGPT and I tell it, regenerate these same sentences. I know that's not the prompt I'll give to it, but give me this same sentence, but make it write it 10 different ways. It will give it back to me. It will be new content. Guess what? A human being will do it with more nuance, with more creativity. They will add to it, they will take from it, they'll take one line, they will extend it, they'll play around with it. The problem is not that you don't publish. The problem is that you are not intentional. I need you to ask yourself, what's the intent of this content? I'm going to give you this activity to try out. Number 1, write out your top 3 goals for your business. For your business and for yourself. So that will be 6. Now, in order for the 3 goals that your business has to be met, what must happen? For you to make sales, you have to be known. There's no negotiating it. How would you be known? That's an example. That's me helping you out. If sales are your problem, in order to make sales, you need to be visible. How would you be visible? Well, I could go viral online. I could pay a PR company. I could run advertising. Okay, what kind of content is required? If a fresh person sees this content, will they buy? So if I'm writing this content, am I writing for new viewers or am I writing for old people who know me? Notice that by the intention, I now have a sense of direction. And now that you know, and you already know your target audience, if I write this book, what else can I do with the content of this book? Can I go on a podcast tour? Should I start my own podcast? Should I release a course? Should I build a community? It's the same content. Same content. Some of the biggest brands you know are built around one book. One book. Just one book. Just one podcast. Just one show. You don't need a show, a book, a podcast, a song. You don't need everything. Now that you know what you need to do, go and do it. Don't read up about it. Don't write about it. Don't just make plans. Once you're done with this paper, drop it and go and do it. If you need to write a book, go and write a book. If you need to get your team to harmonize all your social media, do it. If you need to pay for a premium tool that transcribes your audio, if you're like me, I like audio, so I pay for premium transcription. I used to pay a human being to do it, and I started to use tools to do it. Pay for that. It's important. It's not important to every brand. It's important to me. I know my audio hour. I know my audio strength. There's no need wasting my time. In seasons when I'm technically busy, I can't write. I will speak instead. My team will figure it out. They will make a tweet and make a this and make a that. When I need to write books, I'm in a different zone, which means I have to divide my year into quarters. Certain quarters I'm doing certain things and certain quarters I'm not doing certain things. This quarter of the year I'm not taking clients. I'm not taking one-on-one sessions. That intention has allowed me to build content in a different way than you would. So what are your intentions? Publish with that intention in mind. Some of you need to not self-publish. It's a bad idea for you. Because your goal is to have a book in everybody's hand. You're supposed to be paying a premium company, premium distributor to handle your book distribution. Or at least you're supposed to ensure you are fighting that a traditional publisher publishes you, so that they can do the PR and everything. Obviously, they're not going to give you 100% of the inflow, but you're going to have a book in everybody's hand. Some of you want to be speaking more, but you are the same person saying, I don't want to be in front of the camera. How? Your goal is to speak. You better turn on your microphone and show us that you can actually speak, that you have a voice and it has a sound. The format of your publishing is dependent on your intention. Whether you're going to be audio, you're going to go oral, or you're going to go visual, or you're going to use text, is heavily dependent on your intention, then followed by the audience. Because if your audience is a reading audience and you're trying to force them to do audio, you look for new audience. But the fact is, if you create your text content, text clients will find you. Readers will find you. If you create audio, oral people will find you. Listeners will find you. If you pay a tool, if you pay for a tool, that oral tool can be, that oral content can become text content. So my little advice in 2025, as we prepare for 2026, will be aim for visual content. If you like to speak, aim for visual content. And the reason is because visual can easily become oral. Oral content can easily become text content. It's difficult for text content to be audio content. It sounds robotic, except you're reading the book yourself. It's difficult for oral content to be visual content, especially now when AI videos are all over the place. I don't even listen to videos that don't have face anymore. I don't listen to them because it's becoming pretty difficult to know which is human and which is AI. And sometimes they're just spewing out rubbish. So in order to retain authenticity as you go into the new year, I recommend video content. All right, see you in the next video. Bye.